All right, so you guys know how to write that and use a graphic organizer to multiply, right? Yeah, good. Okay, so we fill it in like this. That's how you would use a graphic organizer to multiply, and then you would write your answer out. But I'm not going to write the answer out yet. I want to see if you guys can find the missing numbers for this box.
For just the top one?
No, you guys already did it. I wanted to redo this just to repeat myself. Okay, so x and 3, x and 4 work. Why? Because 3 times 4 give you 12. And 3 times x gives you 3x. And x times 4 gives you 4x, right?
Yes, sir.
You guys are good. So you write your answer out like this. If you multiply these two binomials together, you would get what's inside of this box right here. Just like, kind of like what we did over here. We filled in the box using the graphic organizer, I suppose. So, when we write our answer out, we write it like this. It would be x squared, which is this guy. And then how come I circled these two things?
Because they're like terms.
Yes, I circled these two terms because they're like terms, and you would add those together. What is 6 and negative 3?
Negative 18.
No. Adding. 6 and negative 3.
Oh, it would
It's
be
positive 3, right? So I have 3x right there, and then I have negative 18 is the last term. So if I fill out this box right here, would you be able to find the missing ones? Now you'll notice something else popped up here. This is important to know. What do these two things add up to? Because that kind of limits what you can put in these two boxes. All right, show me if you guys know what the answer is to that one. Okay, so when thinking about this, I hope you guys are thinking, okay, what multiplies to give me negative 10? But then you have to think, what adds to give me 3? So you get 5 and negative 2. Those will multiply to give you negative 10. And when you finish it, you will get this one plus this one gives you negative 3. 5 and negative 2 give you not negative 3, positive 3. Okay, so I got another one for you guys. See if you guys can get that one. So you guys are thinking, hopefully, I mean, these two numbers are not that bad. That's going to be x, that's going to be x. No biggie. Okay, but to get this one, I have to multiply that and that, right? So two numbers that multiply give you 14, but then they have to add to give you the negative 5. And so we get negative 7 and 2, and then we would write our answer out like this. Negative 7 times 2 will give you negative 14, and not only that, if you add them together, they give you negative 5. Some of you guys are putting positive 7 and negative 2. Those multiply to give you negative 14, so you're right, but they wouldn't add to give you negative 5, so you had to switch the signs. So that would be the answer for this one. That's how you would write the answer. So this is what your problems are going to look like. They're going to say, factor this. You can use a graphic organizer or anything else that you like. This is the last one. Well, it's the second to last one that I want you guys to do. So why don't you guys try this? This time you have to set up your own box. You have to set up your own graphic organizer. Okay, so when you set this up, you would want to put the x squared here and the 56 here. Because that's just like how we're used to setting it up when we multiply it up. Okay, now what about this 15x? Where does that 15x come from? From these two boxes. So you have to split it up, but how do we split it up? I don't know. Okay, now some of you guys did it really quickly, and actually it's probably because you guys thought of 8 and 7 right away. If you plug in 8 and 7 right there, you can finish your table, because 8 and 7 will multiply to give you 56. And then you can write 7x right here, because 7 times x is 7x. And you can write 8x right here, because 8 times x is 8x. But that's not your final answer. You have to write your answer out as two factors. So you write it out like this. We have x plus 7 and x plus 8. X plus 7 and x plus 8. That's your answer. You want to factor this? That's your answer. Those two factors. Because if you multiply those back out, you'll get right back to where you started. Now, 56 was not a good one. Well, it's a good one to start out with. But there's another one that I want you guys to look at that actually makes you think a little bit more. And it's that 48 right here. So see if you guys can set it up first, and then see if you can factor. This is the last one I want to do. Now, a lot of you guys, okay, you set this up right. You put the x squared in the 48 right here. A lot of you guys said 6 and 8 right away. And you put the x's right here, and you guys said 6 and 8 right away. But what's the problem with that? if I multiply this out, I'm going to 8x right here, and I'm going to 6x right here. What do those add up to? Do they add up to negative 16?
No.
Nah. And so maybe you thought, oh, I'm just going to put negatives on there. But what's that going to add up to?
Positive.
That's going to add negative 8 plus negative 6 is negative 14, which is still not negative 16. So 6 and 8 do not work. All right. This is the part where I think factoring gets really tough for people. I mean, the first part, finishing the table, that could be challenging, but then you get it, it's not a problem. What you need to do is, if you can't find your two numbers, is you need to write down 48 and start writing down things that multiply to give you 48. Now, you guys already knew 6 and 8 right away. Okay, now if you're not sure where to start, I always start at 1. 1 times what gives me 48? 48. Okay, and that clearly is not going to give me 16 in any way. If I add or subtract those, not going to give me 16. What about 2? 2 times what gives me 48? Does that work? Yeah, 24, right? And then the same thing here is, if I add or subtract 2 and 24, I still can't get 16. So this time I'll try 3, because sometimes I get a number that doesn't work, but actually I think 3 does work, huh? 3 times what gives me 48? Anybody know off the top of your head?
16.
Yeah, if you didn't know, you would have to write it out. You have to say 48 divided by 3, and then you do your division. You would get 16. Now, does 3 and 16 give us 16? No, if I add those, not going to give me 16. If I subtract those, it's going to be a 13. So then the next one I try is 4. 4 times what gives me 48? 4 times 12. Okay, so does 4 and 12 give me 16 somehow? Oh, it does. So if I put a 4 right here and a 12 right here, does that work? I'm missing something. Yeah, this would be 4x and this would be 12x. But that doesn't, these don't add to give me negative 16. So what do I have to change? Just one of them negative? Yeah, I kind of led you to that answer. Yeah, you got to change both of them. Okay, so that means our answer is going to be x minus 12 and x minus 4. That's the factored form of this guy. That's how you factor it.